You can leave now. No, I'm just kidding. Ow, don't hit me. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, the judge said if she hit me one more time, that she gonna be done for a long time. So she know better than to hit me again.
Especially
But
on camera.
no, I'm just kidding. But
And welcome to the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Hey.
You put away everything? You hit everything?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Leave me alone.
Just making sure you got everything away.
Yes.
We got a sponsor today?
Yes, we always do.
Always
Thank
have
you.
a sponsor.
Katie with Monarch Pine. She is sponsoring this episode and she's giving 10% off. Code Riley Black at monarchpine.etsy.com.
All right, Monarch Pines. We thank you as always. All right, well, on to our guest. Our guest today
Yes.
loves long walks on the beach. It's in his dating profile.
I'm pretty sure he has a wife.
Oh, it was in his dating profile. And she too loves long walks on the beach, just not as long.
What else?
He used to play with robots, not
Oh.
on the beach.
Okay.
I don't think. Maybe he took. We'll talk to him
Maybe.
and find out.
We'll find out.
Jeff, how's it going, man?
hello, how are y'all?
Good.
It's going good. It's going good. Going good. I actually have played with robots on the beach.
You have?
Okay.
Well, not on the beach itself, but we have a customer, aerospace customer that's in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, nice.
And, so they're about a mile away from the ocean, but not.
That's awesome.
Sand gets
Yeah.
everywhere, even a mile away.
Yeah, well, that's
Right.
what we mainly in there. Actually, it's more salt corrosion.
Yeah, for sure.
It's salt water and the moisture in the air.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the houses that are like, I mean, we're in Florida, so the houses,
Yeah.
if you're near the beach, like there's a lot of like salt corrosion and that kind of stuff, which
Yeah,
is crazy. I never like really considered like that it was like in the air or like, you know, you think, I mean, the ocean's not touching you. You don't think about like salt corrosion to your property. But
Yeah,
I'll never have that kind of money, or would I ever want to be that close to the water anyway?
Maybe have like a beach house.
No, no
rental
beach
property.
house. We can rent someone else's property
Okay.
so that they have to pay the insurance when
We can
there's a
do that.
hurricane.
We could do that too.
Anyway, so Jeff, tell
Yes.
us your background. Like, so I had, before you get into that, I guess I had heard about you at LBX. A couple of my friends met you
'Cause
in
we didn't
person at LBX. We didn't go. I had still have like major
Yeah.
FOMO.
So we're
for
talking to
not
everybody
going.
who has been there.
Right, pretty much. So, and you were a speaker there. And then I started to like, once, you know, it's kind of like once you get a new car, you
See
see
it
it everywhere. So once I kind of
Right.
heard about him, I saw his name everywhere. And then he posted in the pie burn group. I don't know why that sounded weird to me in my
Yeah.
head. Came out right, but it
It
didn't in here. And then you had like it was like stacks of boxes for like a huge tumbler order you had, and I was
Actually
like, oh, yeah,
have-
that's right.
I actually have there's well, I don't want to move the phone, but there's
Right.
the rest of that order is over here on top
Nice.
of it. So there was that I had to split it up into two because for that particular customer, she was mailing those cups all over the place. So she wanted to go ahead and get the ball rolling. That's why we broke it up into two.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
So it reminded me that I wanted to have you on, and then
Well,
when
thank
I
you.
was trying to get info from you, you know, in preparation for that episode, you sent me your website, and I saw some gun blinks, and I was like, uh-oh. This is going to be dangerous for this guy. So
Yep.
before we get into all those details, now tell us, what is your background and how did you get into these crazy things called lasers?
well, good question. So, I'm from the South, and you guys have you heard of Duke's Mayonnaise before?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so I was the lead technician at Duke's Mayonnaise.
Oh,
And
Interesting.
yeah, interesting. Yeah. So I had 27, 28 crybabies working for me. Hopefully they'll all watch this. And he stole my screwdriver. Yeah. I'd look at him and say, "You don't know how to use it anyway. What does it matter?"
burn.
But yeah, so I was the lead technician at Duke's Mayonnaise, and we had some lasers that marked bottles.
Okay.
So like with expiration dates and stuff like that.
And
And
so
so that's
that's done with lasers?
oh yeah. Oh good God. The amount of laser goods. You go in your refrigerator, you pick up a pack of bacon that's got a laser date on it. You go in your Tylenol in your cabinet, laser date. Bosch and Lomb eye
Wow.
drops,
I did
laser
not.
date.
Yeah, I thought it was like a print.
I always thought it was like a print, not
Well, now
like.
there's a couple of different
Right.
technologies, but when you start looking for them, go get a
Oh yeah,
box
I'm
of,
gonna see them
pick up a
everywhere
box
now.
of Kraft macaroni and cheese, and it has a laser date code on the side of it. And
Interesting.
yeah, so you start looking for it, just like you
Everywhere, yeah.
said, right? Now you'll be like, oh, like
Yeah.
you're kidding me? Snickers has a laser code on it.
Well, it's like as soon as you get a laser and you figure out what items a laser can make, you
Sure.
see them everywhere. And it's always so funny when we try to tell people that, we have a laser engraving business, they're always like, huh. They're like, oh, cool. They don't know like what that is or how to ask or whatever. And so
Right.
then, we'll like point out like a couple things, or like we were in one guy's office and he literally had like 4 laser items within like reach, like,
And had no idea
gravity
that's
distance,
how
and
it
had
was
no
achieved.
idea.
Right.
Exactly. And so most people have tons of lasered
Lasers.
items, but they don't
Right.
even know it. And I think it's hilarious that, even me who sees lasered items everywhere.
Right.
Well, so you're thinking,
there's something-
retail, consumer, Etsy lasered items and stuff.
Probably, totally, yeah.
And so, but Mama Bear is just, oh, you're good. You're off camera and nobody can hear you. But and I'm glad because she looked like she come out here to fuss at me about not doing something.
Saved
I know.
by.
I know
So-
that. I know that look. I know that feel.
You can leave now. You can leave now. No, I'm just kidding. Ow, don't hit me. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, the judge said if she hit me one more time, that she gonna be done for a long time. So she know better than to hit me again.
Especially
But,
on camera.
No, I'm just kidding. But
Attention all laser owners and crafters. Are you tired of spending hours cutting, painting, and assembling laser products? Look no further than Crazy Laser Dad Laser Ready Blanks.
Their high-quality blanks are expertly sourced, tested, and ready to use with your lasers. Say goodbye to the hassle and frustration of time-consuming projects and hello to more time creating and selling.
Plus, with their wide selection of items, you'll surely find the perfect blank for all your customers.
So, what are you waiting for? Visit crazylaserdad.com today and take your laser crafting to the next level with their laser-ready blanks.
Welcome to the revolution in laser engraving. Introducing Lens Digital, the creators of the game-changing Pyburn rotary attachment. With the Pyburn 4.0, you can turn ordinary cups, tumblers, glasses, and more into extraordinary masterpieces.
Looking to engrave niche items or want the functionality of a chuck rotary? Look no further than the Pyburn Grip, Lens Digital's chuck-style rotary. With a range of different sized jaws, you can easily engrave a wide variety of items. All Lens Digital products are compatible with most CO2 and Galvo lasers and were designed specifically for the laser industry. All that paired with the best-in-class customer support, Lens Digital is your one-stop shop for all of your rotary needs.
Transform your laser engraving game with Lens Digital, where makers succeed. Unleash your creativity today.
And don't forget, we are proud Lens Digital affiliates as well. If you're shopping, code Riley Black will take $50 off any order of $600 or more.
So the that's kind of how it all started.
Yeah.
It was kind of led me down that rabbit hole of trying to figure out what, but ultimately we started out, my man crafting has evolved quite heavily. And that's not my term. I wish I could take credit
it's a
for
good
that.
one though. I haven't heard that before.
Well, then shame on you, because my boy Chad's got he's got a YouTube channel called Man Crafting.
Oh,
And
nice.
and he actually came to Lightburn because of me. I gave him one of my extra tickets.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I got to meet him and his buddy Bernie, which was really cool. That was the greatest thing about Lightburn. And
Man,
just to
that's
take
what I
just take
miss
a
about
quick second, just to touch on these conventions
Of
in
course.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
man, that was so great to actually be able to put faces to like Heather Lynn and
Yeah.
and even Jason, Oz himself, the man behind the
Yeah.
light burn and whatnot and all that. So if we're going to start doing laser conventions in the Southeast, and you guys would be definitely can be a part of that.
Yes, we'd love to.
I've already got numerous travel advisors, whatnot, trying to book group rates and figure out which the best
Awesome.
convention centers. It's not
That's
going to be like
awesome.
super crime rate,
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff. And but so that's cool. But all that aside, I
Yeah.
advocate y'all. You need to go out.
They
You
have
need
to. Yes.
So we started a South
Yeah.
Carolina laser engravers page, and I was going to give it another 3 or 4 months, and then we were going to have a little meet and greet.
Right.
Mhm.
It was a come on, let's go bowling, let's throw dart.
Right.
No, we're not talking about laser stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then when it's all done, hey, and let's get together, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And form the bond. Because my ultimate goal would be to form the largest manufacturing facility in the world
Yeah.
remotely. Like you got a machine, I got a machine, they got a machine. Yeah, we can take on a 50,000 cup order and have it done in
Right.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Mr. Customer. What color would you like? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
the Chinese can't do that.
Yeah.
The Chinese can't do that.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate goal is to,
Yeah.
to have everybody have the same vetting,
Right.
Yeah.
like you say, everybody's got a mirror 7, right?
Yeah. I was
The
gonna
Eon,
say.
right?
I was like.
Everybody's got a mirror 7,
There's
right?
a couple people I wouldn't necessarily, I look at, because I mean, listen, we all post our like engraves and stuff, and someone will post their like Tumblr engrave. I'm the first one to be like zooming in, like, let me see, let me see.
Forensic files over here.
So
Yeah.
much so that Emily will send me her stuff before she posts it, and she's like, "Does this bother Heather and Crystal?" Because she knows that that's like just,
That's
and I
pretty
can't
good,
help
yeah.
it. And I'm like, and I know that everyone starts everywhere, everyone,
Well, no, that means that you're honing the craft in your brain. It's like, it's like
Right.
me, I'm a technician. Okay.
yeah,
Now I've got and to piggyback on what you said a while ago, you said you heard
Yeah.
a whine in the background, and
Oh,
I've got a fume extractor over here because I've got 2 lasers running right now.
yeah,
But so I've got a fume extractor running over here. That's what the whine is. But
Mhm.
you're honing your craft, right? If that thing starts making a different noise, I can hear it outside.
oh, right, yeah,
Like something's wrong with my fume extractor, right?
Right.
And so it's the same. You get
Yeah.
in tune with something. Your car, it's doing
Yeah.
something funny. You know it because it's your car
Right.
and you drive it every day.
yeah,
Same thing, right? And you get to where you can look at you can just look at work and be like,
right, yeah.
there's this, there's that, and
Yeah.
it'll help you dissect your own work. Because if you can pick other people's,
listen,
if
that's a good point. Because
because if you start picking other
shit
people's,
to mine,
right? Because if you start picking other people's work apart, then you better be dang
right?
ready,
Oh,
to
she
post
does.
your stuff,
I do.
right?
Man. And then sometimes I like have to let it go because like a lot of the things that bother me about my own work is not something the customer would ever see
know.
or care about.
And in my training, I usually try to touch on that subject for about 4 or 5 minutes.
Right.
And I tell people, like, you are your own worst enemy. I am by
Mm-hmm.
no stretch of the imagination advocating for you to push trash out of your doors.
Right.
But go to Dick's Sporting Goods, go to Academy Sports, go to
Yep.
Lowe's,
Yeah.
go to Home Depot, go to all these places and pick up these lasered stuffs. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And you know what? Somebody's going to throw it in the cart and never think twice about
Exactly.
it.
And not
Yeah.
care. Yeah.
So you're your own. Like I said, though,
Right.
don't push trash out by no stretch of the
quality is
imagination.
important. Yes.
But if
at
it's
the
like
same
borderline
time-
teeter totter, and
Right.
this is what solidified this for me because I wasted a lot of stuff,
Mm.
and this is what solidified it for me is I took, just random cup, any
Yeah.
one of these cups, right? We'll take this Yeti cup here for instance, right? And in this cup, the reason it's up here is because it's messed up, right? If you look right here, hold on. Well, I'll go ahead and point it out to you because I'm the same way, right? Well, I can't even do
Yeah.
it upside down and backwards. Right here, where my finger is, this cloud didn't complete.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's there, but it ain't there,
Right.
right?
Right.
And, I mean, that's a beautiful cup, but I inspected
is.
it for $75. I ain't sending that shit out the door.
Exactly. Right.
But this will go to the gun show and it'll get gone for $70, and people are like, man, that's awesome.
Right.
Right.
Well,
And but
because it's people like him who are buying them. And when I show him something, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm
Don't
so
see
mad
it.
at this. Like, it's driving me nuts.
and then
like,
he's like, what?
what?
What? Dude,
Yeah, he doesn't see it
What?
at all.
Like, you don't see that line? You don't see that line right there?
What
The
line?
line behind the other line? And I'm like,
Is that not
well,
supposed to be there?
well, now that you say it, it does look a little funny.
Yeah,
But I
and
didn't
so
see that
that's
until you said it.
no. And I'm gonna tell you what, another principle before I went
Sorry,
to
Gypsy
college.
Fins. There's no line, Gypsy Fins.
There's
no
not.
line. I
It's
was
pretty perfect.
Just using it as an
Right.
excuse.
So before I went to college, I did flooring. Okay, and it was a game for me and my wife. You know, I ran the business. She would do the books and make nice with the people. But I would, anytime I did carpet work,
Oof.
I come in and we play a game. Is she find where I put the seams?
Oh.
And if
That's
she
a fun
could,
game.
and if she could find where I put the seams, it tore me up. It broke me down. It tore me apart. And it finally got to where I had to show her every single time. Now we got a brand new home. This is brand. You're looking at a god awful amount of money for bricks and sticks.
Right.
And we walk into the bedroom closed. The first day walking, she was like, "Oh my God, look at that seam." And I was like,
Oh no.
"Yeah, you know." But then she looked at me and she was like, "Wait, but that's not normal." And I was like, "No, it's not normal because 97 people out of 100 will walk in this room and that would never stick out to them at all whatsoever." It's just like that
so
car.
true.
You've never seen you're like, "Babe, I got to have this car. It's beautiful. It's one of a kind. I've never seen it. It's amazing." And then he says, "Okay, babe, do whatever." And you pull out of the dealership and you get hit by the same car.
Right. Yeah. Literally.
And how does that work out? You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I've never
that's like
seen I've never seen this car, this color, anything before, you know.
Yep.
So just
that's
going
like
back
when
to
we've
what you
had,
said.
we had like outlets installed. And did you remember when they were like super crooked? Did you even notice that they were crooked? I mean, so he notices.
Here?
No, at the old house. I mean, actually, Colorado.
Oh yeah, when when we had the TV
usually,
installed.
He usually thinks
That thing was
he
crooked.
notices stuff because of me now. Like, oh, that's going to bother her. It doesn't necessarily. It's not something he would have ever noticed or cared about before,
or even bother me.
But now he's like, oh, I know she's gonna say something, and like it was so crooked, and I was like,
not symmetrical.
yeah,
or whatever,
like come on.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, you're gonna need to fix that. Not from me, but you're gonna hear it from her.
Yep.
So you might want to fix that. Speaking of all things laser, check out Houston Acrylic at houstonacrylic.com for reliable laser tested and laser approved materials.
Made for makers by makers, Houston Acrylic features over 450 styles of acrylic sheets. With over 50 new arrivals being released this month, Houston Acrylic is committed to bringing new and innovative styles to the laser community. My personal favorite is the matte, anything matte, and I feel it's perfect for everything.
Don't forget to save 10% by using our exclusive coupon code TRBP10 at checkout. Get inspired today and visit houstonacrylic.com.
Do it.
We're all over the place, but real quick though, back to the conventions.
We really
you gotta do it. You gotta if they offer them local to you and they're just not through the and I mean there's not a rash of them. I've been told that there's one coming up in Oklahoma called the Next Level Conference.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're going to that one.
Yep.
Okay, and that seems like super cool and legit.
And then we're
unfortunately for me, we sell fireworks too, and I think that's like.
Oh,
I want to say it's like 2 weeks before the 4th of July or something like that.
Oh
and
yeah, it's end of June.
Oh yeah,
Oh
so
no,
like
it's right, but it's literally like it's June.
It ends June 1st.
Yeah.
July 1st.
Yeah.
July 1st.
And then
okay,
I'm flying to
so
Colorado.
like we literally we sell fireworks. So
Yeah.
I have 4 stands. Yeah, there's no way, man. We are great. I'm doing fireworks stuff right now. 2 hours ago, I was doing fireworks stuff, and it's February.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and then I mean, there's the one we're going to in April. The ISA Expo, the Sign Expo, which it's not 100% lasers.
Laser, right? It's a maker
lasers.
craft show. Well, that's the one Robert Kofo did just and Elite. I think right is the virtual Eon sponsored a virtual event there.
Oh, there's a virtual one That's a different one. That's another one, but that one's virtual.
I thought it was
Laser
at.
Fest
I thought
or
it was
something.
at another event. Okay.
Oh
sorry.
yeah, no, that one's like 100% virtual. I think it's all like pre-recorded from like the speakers and stuff. I don't know a ton about it. And those are cool too. I don't know if they like with the virtual ones, it would be cool if they kind of would like if maybe I don't know. I guess maybe a Zoom you could kind of get close to like hanging out, but
Hanging
like
out with them,
the
right?
best part and the reason why I still like kind of kick myself for not going to LBX was just because we've been to so many that we know like how impactful they are to like meet somebody in person. And like the sign one that we're going to, there's literally 3 people that are like friends and people we've had on the podcast virtually that we're going to be able to meet in person. And it like that's just it's I don't know, it's so different. Like obviously online you can have some pretty close relationships with people you've never met, but it's not the same as like actually getting
there's just
to
that little
just
that little bit
that little
missing.
But it's like it's a big bit once you
Well, no,
actually
and then
like,
and
get
then
it,
that way you know that you're actually not getting catfish.
Well, I mean, you can video call.
right.
True,
Yeah.
but and you know the Lightbird thing was like it was very humbling. You know, to think that I was a part of that, and then there were people there from Australia, New Zealand, South Africa,
That's
Jamaica,
crazy.
Holland, Ireland. I
Right.
mean, like it was crazy. You know, I was just like, wow, like this is nuts. So
Yeah.
anyway, all that aside, if they're in your area, if y'all are in the South
Go.
or the East Coast, be on the lookout for them. I'll make sure Crystal can give you guys a
Yes.
schedule or something. We're going to try to shoot
Definitely.
for. We're going to try to shoot for just doing them twice a year.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't think I want to get oversaturated.
Yeah.
And
Well, and they're a lot of work, even if you do.
it is.
Like a
It's already. I
small-
ain't even done anything yet, and it's a lot of work. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I'd reached out to Will.
Yeah.
Louis, right? And
Yeah.
I think that guy's just busier than I'll get out though. But
He is.
I didn't, and it's crazy as I didn't even know he did anything like this. I reached out to him because he also sells blanks, and I was like, dude, we got to collaborate. You're in California, I'm in South Carolina. Like, it
Right.
cost me $17 to ship something right down the street from you that would cost you $4. Like,
Right.
Right.
you know, let's get together. But the dude's just been insanely busy.
Yeah.
And because I see him on the he's posting all the time, so it's good stuff. But
Yeah.
anyway, if you can get to it, go. It's like it's
Definitely.
it was definitely eye opening and super cool to
Yeah.
you know be able to shake people's hands that you've been interacting. You
Right.
know, like Stan
Yeah.
and Lynn.
Yes.
You know, and Piper and Jason from Roto Boss. You know, all
Yeah.
those guys. You
Yeah.
know, they were there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, Stan and Lynn, like, you know, I fell in love with them again, like online, but then meeting them in person is just, you know, it's not
The guys
like,
are great.
It's not the same. You know what I mean? Like there's only so much you can infer through text, and like you get to like actually see like more of their like personality. So unless they're doing like live videos regularly where you kind of get to see that
their
personality,
right?
you know,
You don't know 'em.
you don't get too
Yeah.
much of that. You have to like kind of infer it through, you know, whatever they type in the post or in messages. But so what you had told us kind of in our pre-show, what is your actual degree or like background initially?
Well, so technician. You know, basically, I've been turning wrenches my whole life in some capacity.
Yeah.
So I have a bunch of college degrees.
Nice.
That don't really. Yeah, it's nice, but it.
Listen, I
have-
I have a finance degree.
Yeah, well, right. This is a bunch of
I
smoke
hate
and mirrors.
finance.
I have 3 degrees from the same stint of schooling. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of wild. So they all kind of run concurrent, consecutive. I took a few extra classes and got extra
Right.
degrees.
Yeah.
But I am a robotics engineer
Nice.
with a strong emphasis on fluid power, which would be hydraulics and pneumatics. And
Okay.
80% of robots work on some type of pneumatic control. And a lot of our lasers have a lot of the same technology I work on, like for your air assist. If you have a Thunder laser, your air assist has an electric solenoid. It's the same
Yeah.
type of solenoid that makes a robot's end effector open and close. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
So getting into the laser world, I wasn't intimidated at all because of the technology.
Right. It was similar enough for you that you were comfortable.
Yeah, it was a machine. It was a
Yeah,
machine.
right.
It had bearings. It had motors. The only thing that was changing different is it was spitting fire.
Right. Just
You know. So I was like,
I was not prepared for that.
yeah, I'm a snake. Snake. But you know, no, that was pretty good. Just
I love that.
I just like, okay, you got to keep your fingers away from the laser bits, and you should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, laser bits. That's what we call them.
So you were working with laser. Was the job with the Mayo? Was that your first like intro into lasers?
Yep, I believe so. I don't think I'd ever seen one or really
And
thought
then
about it or knew about them.
What made you go out and get one?
Well, about like I said, my man crafting. We started out with the Silhouette Cricket.
Of course. You know, I'm actually kind of surprised that you started there too. We call that the gateway drug.
Yeah. Well, I think breast milk is the ultimate gateway drug because all my buddies started out on it, and they've been right since. But anyway, you said it was kind of okay.
You know, listen,
It's
yes,
good.
there's nothing
Okay,
that's off
all right.
limits.
Okay, all right. No,
Just
so
most people, they like, it's a fuck or a shit here and there. So I love
Nah,
that you're
well-
running with it.
Yeah.
nah, I am a maintenance tech. The F word's part of my religion, but I try to maintain professionalism. I usually tell people that I'm a highly trained unprofessional. And so,
same.
yeah, or a highly untrained professional, one of the two.
Right.
So I say I'm a highly untrained professional or a highly trained unprofessional. But so that's kind of what it was. The evolution of my man crafting started out there, the gateway Silhouette Cricket.
Yeah.
Learned it pretty easy and learned it pretty quick.
Yeah.
I had a niche little thing here where I was putting heat transfer vinyl on cups. I was actually ironing vinyl on the cups because the situation that they were going to, all the stickers were coming off. And so I figured out a way to rough up the cup enough to raise enough asperities on the metal for the plastic to bond to all the micro stuff. And so we did that for a very good long while in a specific industry because that took me into another thing that I can't talk about really that put the heat. Well, I have a massive amount of NDAs in my world because we work for Amazon, and so that's what the two lasers are doing now. Like, and I started that. This thing
Jesus
will be.
Christ, you sound just like Will. Like you sell fireworks. You have your regular day job. You have your FFL. You also do the Amazon and all the NDA stuff. Like, and then now you're planning like 2 events a year. Like you have time for that shit.
Well, I have a team of people that's trying to help me with that, so I'm not trying to take all that stuff on by myself. I've got some heavy hitters here local to me that that we've kind of entrusted each other. I throw work their way when they're not comfortable doing something, they give it to me.
Yeah,
which is great, right? Because I guess you always got to have that. Every gang's got their enforcer, right? I guess that's kind of what I am. I do the dirty work, Oh, I can do a cup. I can do. I'm like, you need your granddaddy's 1911 engraved. Oh yeah, here, call this number. And so
would you
that's
do that?
kind of
No, not right now.
Yeah, true. I mean,
it's
obviously,
because it's scary though. Like every time, so it doesn't get any easier. I don't even want to paint a picture that it is, right? Because it's tough. I've got a couple of guns now. I've got a gun right now to do. It is a Para 1911 that I'm supposed to do in 1930s gangster theme, nothing to do with Al Capone. That's literally what the guy told me to do. And I was like, okay, cool, right? And you don't think nothing about it until you realize that they stopped making this gun in 1942, and it's probably worth about $12,000.
Oh no, my anxiety could not.
But no. But I guess that's the realistic person in me. To me, it's still just a $300 gun.
Right.
It's still a $300 1911, right? And so, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna treat it with the same respect that I would any firearm, right? But just because it's $10,000, it does give you the gumption factor you got to get over, right?
Right.
But it's still, it's still just doing the same thing you did. It's just like when I was talking about flooring, right? I didn't go, oh God, it's $1 million house,
Right.
even if it was a double wide trailer, right? So I mean,
Right.
Or what have you, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing. I'd give the same
Right,
love,
right.
attention, and
I
affection
still
to
think
any.
I mean it's what's Mike with Laser Engraving 911, do you know him?
Yeah, I met
Yeah.
him also.
At
Real
LVX.
cool dude. With
Yeah.
I haven't
He
even
actually
watched
kind
it.
of looks
He's
like
from
you.
Georgia, isn't he? From Georgia?
I don't remember.
He might
I
be
think
from Georgia.
he
Yeah.
might be.
Yeah, but see,
I don't
yeah,
remember.
I'm pretty
But
sure.
he
I'm
was
pretty
the
sure I
same
met him.
way that he engraves like a good portion of the stuff that he does is he engraves on items that people bring to him. And I learned early on that that is not something that is the
That you're
right
not
choice
built
for
with.
me.
You're
No,
not built
I
for it,
have
right?
way too much anxiety. So
Right.
listen, I had to engrave like a friend of a friend's. They wanted me to engrave an urn for her boyfriend who had passed, and the anxiety that gave me, and mind you, I had them send me two because I first I told her no, and
I'm
then she's
good.
like,
You got a
literally, we
backup
have
plan,
no
right?
one else who will do this for us. Will you please? And I'm like, she literally like begged me. I'm like, fine.
It turned out
So
perfect, didn't
it did, but
it?
it
See,
like I had
it
to I
tore your
engraved the
nerves up.
first
Is what
one.
you
I mean,
did.
but it wasn't I guess it wasn't 100% perfect cuz like again, it was something that no one else would have noticed, but it was like a little bit, I forget which one. I don't know if it was on the main one, but I was able to engrave both of them. And I told her that. I was like, I'm going to engrave the inside bottom because you could take the whole thing apart. It was I think it was
Sure.
cedar or whatever. And I engraved the inside bottom with it to test it. And then I think when I went to actually do the main one, it was like kind of just the tiniest bit off center. Again, my OCD is like extreme when it comes to like centering stuff. And I don't think you noticed at all. But then
No.
since I was going to engrave both of them anyway, the other one was engraved more like perfect and
Hey,
on
you
center.
I know you told me not to move the phone that much.
You're fine.
You see all those Stanleys right there?
Yeah.
Do you know why they're sitting there?
Because they're off a little bit.
The logo on the Stanley Cup
Oh
is
no, that
more.
would be the worst.
It's more than 15% off center. So
I
like
can't.
I would have to readjust every one of my files to make it more.
Oh right, yeah, even
that's-
more so.
And
Yeah,
that's on the Stanley
yeah,
itself emblem.
right.
Yeah.
And
Right, that's the Stanley
you pay
itself.
How much
Yeah.
for those cups?
Yeah.
Well,
Ooh,
not
you know
us,
what you should do?
It's-
You know what you should do? No, you should take those and mark them up as imperfection marks.
Imperfections, yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah.
It's not enough to notice. You actually have to take your.
Right.
But the only reason that I noticed it is because I have a jig for my full wraps. Like all
Right.
my full wraps incorporate the Stanley logo.
Right, right.
Like
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Right, and so that would
Yeah.
it's
No,
off
that's
it's
no.
off this much, right? So, but it's
Right. Yeah.
it's just
yeah.
because it's some kid
But
in
yeah,
a
so, like,
Chinese sweatshop putting
yeah.
it on probably.
Right. Thankfully, it worked out. But again, like she had to pay for two urns, and urns are not cheap. They charge $1 million for them just because they're urns. And I mean, they were quality urns, but and these were not this was not anybody's like granddaddy's urn. This was, he's gone and
He's
back
back.
again. But
Oh,
it wasn't
please.
anybody's prized things. Like I could have purchased another one if I needed to,
Right.
and it would have cost me like $150, and yeah, it would have sucked. But it wasn't that crazy. But so having that much anxiety for an item that I can easily replace for not too much money,
Right.
that I already know it would be through the roof.
it's funny.
It was someone's
It's funny 'cause I bet
important heirloom or
I bet you if someone opened that urn, either to put the ashes in or whatever, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. They even engraved the inside.
Yeah, not knowing that was like my
The
testing grave.
practice, yeah. Yeah,
Well, and
that
that's
was
a-
supposed to be there.
So that's another thing that I tell people in training and business development is I was like, if you're going to test on somebody's item, I use the words marked in USA.
Marked in USA.
And that's what I test on their item with, because even if it doesn't show up or come out right, like it just blends in and nobody can
That's a
tell the
good
difference.
idea.
It's not like you're using the word test, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So I use the verbiage marked in USA. And of course,
Nice.
if you're going to do different tests, I do it with each letter, because a lot of people don't know in Lightburn and in EasyCAD, if you're using it old school stuff,
Right.
you in Lightburn, you can right click on text and do what's called convert to path.
Right.
And it turns into each individual element into a vector.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could take that marked in USA and turn it into literally 14, tests. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Marked in
Right.
USA. 6, 8, 11. Okay, good. Okay.
Good
Gotcha.
job,
Yeah.
Jeff. Good
Yay.
job.
So anyway, but you can turn that into 11, basically 11 test grids. You know what I mean? You could do each letter, and then at the end, hit them all the same thing.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you're so right about the anxiety. The gun.
It's a special kind of person for me. Like, and I mean, we need people like you, because there are people who want their already purchased item to be engraved, and who have, the ones who, I think you called it the gumption to be able to do it,
And I'll tell you what, I was so scared about 3 weeks ago. It is actually the most nervous, anxious, anxiety, scared, or whatever I've been in a long time. And it was over a $55 item.
Really?
Yeah, but I could not replace it. It was one of those pink Target Stanleys that sold out in 9 seconds.
Those things.
And she brought it to me. She was like, "Can you engrave this?" And I was like, "Yeah, do you like any of these other colors?"
Just in case.
Just in case,
Right, like, I'm going to try, but.
It's like, I mean, I had no intentions of screwing this up, but stuff happens. Power goes out. Like, the whatever. And so, stuff happens beyond your control. And she was like, "Oh, it's just a cup." And I was like, "It's just a cup that I can't replace."
Right.
And
just a cup until I mess it up.
Yeah, right. And then all of a sudden,
then we'll see how much.
1-star review.
Right. Right.
But luckily, I did 2 of them. They were both the pink ones, but luckily they turned out great. It was fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah.
So, but that was the like you said, I'm putting 10,000. I'm speculating that this is a $10,000 gun. It's probably not. Let's just say it's a $2,000 gun. $2,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a month's pay for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, Alicia, I'm sure, because I think you post in her group.
Alicia
Pate.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
So
got to meet her at LBX. But like I said, it's a great.
Right.
She actually ended up with a bottle of my liquor somehow. I don't remember, but
nice. It's probably how much liquor you had when.
I don't drink. I didn't drink.
Sure.
Then you remember.
So she had posted once about she engraved the stock. Is it the stock?
The shotgun. Yeah.
She engraved the stock of a shotgun, and when she sent her file to the laser, she had never had any problem sending it straight from Lightburn instead of from your computer to.
It turned it backwards.
And it scrambled it.
Yeah. I remember her posting about that.
She had to replace the stock, and it was like $600.
It was like an $800 gun. Yeah. It was a Henry.
Yeah. So I mean,
I have the same story. I have the same story. I don't really boast about that too much.
Right.
But last Christmas, I had a guy out of state. I had a guy out of state send me a Henry rifle stock, and I engraved it, and it was beautiful. I mean, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Except
backwards.
It was upside down.
Oh no.
So literally, the way you would think of a rifle stock, holding up to your chin, this one's upside down the way that it normally would look like. And he was like, "Dude, this is amazing." And I was like, "Sweet."
However,
no. He was like, I was like, "Sweet. I'm glad you like it." He was like, "Yes, dude. This is awesome. Oh my God. Yes." I was like, "Sweet."
I love how you did it upside down.
No. Then 2 hours later, he calls me back and he was like, so I actually went to go put it on the gun.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, right. And he sends me a picture, and I was like, dude. Luckily though, it was like a TriStar, like it was
Yeah.
40. Thank God it was like a $45 piece of wood.
Yeah.
Good.
But we were able to salvage it because he was like, he said, "But I wonder, whatever." He was putting, it was a shadow box going.
Mm.
He said, "Okay, well, can I send it back to you and you do
Just
the
do the other
other
side.
side, like right side up?" And I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Yeah, and I'll do this side for free." And he was
Right.
like, so,
man.
I mean, what you gonna do, right? It's like,
Right. Yeah.
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 I should have said, "I'll not only charge you half price for this."
No, you got to do that for free.
Of
I mean, that's the
course,
hard
of
part,
course.
though. Is like,
Actually,
little
yeah.
things like that, you know. I mean, and then like tumblers, something I think you have to rotate it, and then I've seen some that they've rotated it, they rotate it the wrong way, or
Oh my!
the
Well, see,
circle ones,
I have
circle
two thunder
designs.
lasers, or excuse me, I have two. I have two thunder lasers, but I have two cup lasers.
Oh, I'm so
Well,
jealous.
one's a Mira 7, who has its origin in the top left, and the
Mm.
other one's the Thunder, who has its origin in the top right.
Oh no.
And if I don't remember it, I'll waste a cup every single freaking time because I have to, when I send the file. Well, I've actually overcome it because
You can change the origin.
sure. Well, no, not you can change the origin of the file, but not the origin of the machine.
That's true.
So
oh wait, so the Thunder, it like homes to the
top left.
Oh, that would mess me up.
Yeah, so Mira's home to the top right, Thunder's
Right.
home to the top left. I've got an Omtech that homes to the top left. I have an Omtech that homes to the top right.
Oh
So
my God.
so yeah, if you do a file on the Thunder and then send it to the Mira, it mirrors it. And so, but I guess that's why they called it the mirror. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I got it. I get you now. This I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Oh,
But
man.
I've overcome it now.
right.
Because I have one computer that I just export the file as a DXF and then send. You can't see it, but I've got this box above my head right there. I don't know if you can see all the yellow
Yeah.
wires sticking out
Yep.
of it. There's
Yeah.
like 14 of them or something. But these are all on what's called a network attached storage. If you don't have, if I'd have done this when I started, I think I would be ahead in my business by at least 6 months.
Yeah.
I am not joking.
Huh.
This little guy right here. So you get a file on your computer and you put it
Right.
on a USB and you take it over. Well, maybe it's
I
maybe it's
send mine with
isolated
my
to me.
Lightburn bridge.
Okay, well maybe it's isolated to me because I'll do the same job on 3 or 4 different lasers. So I have a
Right.
stick, a master job that I will
Yeah.
take, to the surrogate lasers.
Right.
Well, that would take 30 minutes to
Oh, yeah.
unpack this mount, go to the next. Like now, this guy right here has got it all attached to one big ass USB, basically.
Huh.
And so I can go to any computer in here. I can save a file on this computer and walk to any of these other computers and pull it up like that. It's really cool.
Nice.
So
So when you say any other of these computers, how many are we talking about? Drop
I
that
have
number on them.
lasers?
Drop that number.
Computers
on
or lasers?
them. Lasers.
we have 14 lasers. They're not all in this room because I have
Yeah.
another.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not all in that room. How big is that
I
room?
mean,
Well,
I'm in a 2-car garage. Like, well, I mean, I'll give you the dime tour, but you didn't want me to move my phone around that much. But I've got cups everywhere. There's a 80-watt fiber laser over there. There's an
Nice.
Omtech there. There's the Thunder laser there. I've got more lasers behind this thing here, and then there's 4
there's a
fiber
Pepsi machine.
lasers. That's a
And a
gun
Pepsi
safe.
machine.
Well, that's a gun safe actually.
That's
cool.
Yeah.
that's a gun safe you can have.
My wife was like,
I gotta
"You're
feel
gonna
it, though.
make it into a gun safe?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
She was like, "Is that safe?" And I was like, "They leave them outside.
That's a good
Like, there's
point.
not a rash of soda machine burglaries. Like, you don't go by the 7-Eleven and be like, damn, they done rip. Where'd the Coke machine go? No.
Well, that's because
No.
there's not guns in there.
Well, true. Well, if you can't steal it with with soda in it. You definitely ain't stealing it full of 10,000 rounds of ammo.
Can I put like 350 in there and get a Glock?
Dude, that would be badass.
That would be
No,
amazing.
it actually, what was crazy and disheartening about it is I only paid $200 for it. I got it home. I wanted to plug it up to see if the lights work because I never thought in a million years that it actually worked.
Yeah.
I plugged it up. We had dinner, whatever. Come back out here 2-3 hours later. Open it up, dude. It was like 40 degrees inside of this thing, and I was like, so I called the dude that I bought it from, and I was like, hey man, I was like, what's wrong with this Pepsi machine? He was like, nothing. And I was like, I mean, these things are $1,200, $1,500.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I was like, well, why did, I just thought that it didn't work for $200. He was like, well, it don't work. And I'm like, he was like, everything about it works. He was like, but the drink's only 40 cents. I can't buy drinks for 40 cents no more.
So he didn't know how to reprogram it.
Yeah, he's an idiot because there's dip switches inside the thing that you can make it. And the most expensive thing you can make it is $10 per button push.
All right, $10 Glocks. I'm coming
Yeah.
to his house.
Just sets of. Can you resell ammo? We got to talk about that too. The FFL.
Well, you don't need an FFL to sell ammo or buy it. Yeah, you need an FFL for ammo if you manufacture it.
If you make it,
Okay.
that's where the real.
Yeah, because like you could do, you just put it in there and then they get like a little, pack of ammo.
Well, that's so funny is my brother actually, we talked about that. We were actually thinking about just buying one and taking to gun shows just for the sheer fact that I
Just
think
for
novelty people, right. I think the novelty idea of people buying
100%.
ammo, but there's legality in that because you can't be less than 18 to buy rifle ammo and you have to be 21 to buy handgun ammo. So, so there's a little trickery there. That's why, and that's why they don't have ammo vending machines at Fernal Academy.
That's fine. Sounds fun though.
And then you can't sell them at a bar.
Right?
There they
No.
would check
Yeah,
ID.
no
You can't sell
alcohol.
it at-
Yeah, you can't have the
that
mix.
whole. And you would think alcohol, tobacco, firearms.
See, I miss the days that had cigarette machines in the Waffle House.
Right.
So I'm just getting these from my dad.
Right. Yeah. So, your FFL. So a lot of people don't know. I don't think there's a ton of people who are out there like lasering, guns and stuff that are completely unaware. But
there's a few. I know where you're going with this. There's definitely a few.
It's just like a lot of people, with the copyright or trademark stuff. It's like, if you choose to do it and you take that risk, that's one thing. But like, just make sure that that you're, you want to, if you worked really hard for the business, you want to protect it.
You don't want to throw it all away with a stupid mistake.
Yeah,
right?
especially with FFL,
So I'll get right to the punch of it.
Them to come into your door,
Sure.
because you so. Yeah,
and
how
I
did you get into that?
Well, I don't know how involved you got. Do you know Robin Roberts?
Yeah.
Okay, so her and I did the same type of thing that we're doing here a couple of weeks ago, and it was actually based on the FFL stuff. So, that was there. But
check it out.
Yeah, for sure. So, but anyway, the kind of the highlights that we hit there, and we can go over here is you must, without a shadow of a doubt, have an FFL if you are going to do anything to firearms and money is changing hands. There's no gray area. There's not, oh, well, the guy stands there with me or, whatever. There's not.
He gives
because
me a donation.
Right. Yeah. You're in possession of a firearm, so the government wants to know that you're legally allowed to be in possession of that firearm.
Right.
Because the last thing we want to do is to, have a guy have a laser that can't have guns.
Right.
And somebody bring him a gun and he's like, oh yeah, I'll have it back to you in a couple of weeks. Whatever. Right. But that's the flip side of it. That's not even, what we're talking about. But to do, to work with firearms for money, you must be engaged in the business of selling and distributing firearms, and you must be licensed to do it. It's like $150 a year.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, or for 3 years. Excuse
Yeah.
me, it's $150 for 3
Oh
years.
yeah. Wow.
It's $1 a week. So I mean, it's not like it's earth shattering money. You're
Right.
paying $5,000 for this special license. It's not.
Right.
No, I mean a lot of people don't want to get it because they think that they if you're working out of your house like me,
Mm.
they the feds can just show up anytime they want. No, that's not true. Like you're in a legitimate business and you have business hours. They can
Right.
show up anytime that they want to during your posted business hours, but they're not coming at 3 o'clock in the morning without a warrant.
Right.
And we all know the ATF can't get warrants. So who? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But so you definitely need to be, you definitely be licensed.
flashbang going off. And
You're right. Yeah.
boom, and end of the podcast.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. But actually, I did an engraving on a guy's. So this is this is a gun I have to engrave also, but this is a short barrel rifle because I'm.
Is that a short barrel rifle or is that a pistol?
So right now, as it sits, it's a pistol.
It's a pistol.
That's why it's in my possession because I'm not an SOT. So there's even more licensing within the licensing of being licensed. So, like to have your FFLs, your federal firearms license, right? But just think of your driver's license, right? When you have a driver's license, you can drive a car or a small truck, maybe even up to a U-Haul.
Right.
All right. But then you have a CDL, which is your commercial driver's license. And if you have a commercial driver's license, you can drive a big truck plus all the other stuff.
Right.
Right. Well, it's the same thing with this. I have my FFL, so therefore I can possess this pistol. Right? Because it doesn't have a forward vertical grip and it doesn't have a stock. All right. This is a buffer tube, not a stock.
Yeah.
All right. But I will engrave this guy's city and state. And then when I hand it back to him, he'll be able to put an adjustable stock on it and a forward grip. So just because I engrave it doesn't make it anything other than an engraved piece of metal.
Right.
But in any event, the funniest thing I've done is the guy brought me a machine gun, and right here where it says fire, safety, and there's three positions: fire, safety, and then if you flip it all the way back to the other side, then it's fully auto. But he had me put on an 80% lower that he machined himself. He had me put life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Nice.
So life was safety.
Safe.
Yeah.
Right, liberty was just plink plink, and then pursuit of happiness was tick 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 tick.
Was the pursuit of happiness.
But so then the same guy brought me another one. We did it, but this time we put fire safe. Don't shoot my dog.
Don't shoot my dog.
It was MADOG. Don't shoot my dog.
You had to have put like pew pew on something.
We put yeet cannon on stuff like we. Well, I can.
Yeet cannon.
I grab a couple of guns. I have some right here that I've done
see.
or am doing. Please hold.
If only I could lay on the table and kick my feet.
Okay. And we're back. We're right here in the hood live at 6. So here is a Scrollworks 1911 that I did.
So pretty.
This artwork is by a guy named Kiselev Engraver. I like the trigger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know that
nice.
I've seen the trigger.
You haven't seen the trigger?
How do you do the? I mean, obviously you can
take
take
them
the
off.
trigger
Yeah.
off. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have to know how to take these bad boys apart.
Yeah.
And this one's sold.
Wow.
The guy's supposed to come pick it up
That's a pretty good deal.
Thursday.
What is it originally?
Oh, it's a $400 American Tactical made right here in Summerville,
okay.
South Carolina. And then here is a Glock. This is plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool
Yeah,
though.
stippling. Yeah. Nice.
Yep. So that's what we do.
Yeah, he sent me so when I was looking at his blanks website, I was like, you do guns? And then
Yeah.
he sent me a video of those guns, and I sent it to him, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be dangerous."
Yeah. It's nice.
Well, we've done a bunch. I actually did a gun for Drew Hill, if you know who that is.
Drew Hill, yeah.
Yeah,
That's oh.
baby. You know what I said to him on the phone? I said, "Unleash the dragon." He said, "Boy, you stupid."
Did you put a big
I
dragon
was
on
gonna
it?
say, what did he get
Yeah.
on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
that's
can't
their
share.
logo.
That's yeah,
Yeah, I can't share my screen, but Crystal.
Yes.
I'll send you the gun whenever
Yes.
I get it back.
Totally.
It has actually got me like it's good to know people. So like
Right.
that, and he found me on the internet.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So just like just like this,
Yeah.
and I'm a legend if you ask me. You know what I mean? Like I'll tell you quick how cool I am.
Right. What other? Do you have any other names that you want to drop?
No, that's it
Well,
really.
the good ones you probably have an NDA on. You can't drop the names.
No, I haven't done. I haven't done all the NDA stuff that we do is pharmaceutical and Amazon, and we did. I actually can talk about this now because the patent has went through. But Michelin North America is based right here in Greenville, South Carolina, and I did some rapid prototyping for Tesla wall charging air things that Michelin is developing. So basically the premise of it is electric cars aren't at the gas station that much. Right. And so there's
Right.
so they don't ever get near the air things.
Right.
Oh, right.
Right. So they don't check their air pressure in their tires, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So Michelin developed this digital little jobby that integrates into the Tesla wall charger, and it's a wireless, cordless little thing that checks pressure and adds air. It's like this little. It looks like the thing that they stick in your ear to check your temperature. And but the guy called me up one night and he was like, "Hey, look, I need something by 8 o'clock in the morning. Can you do it?" And I was like, "Dude, it's 9:30 p.m. What, like, what in God's name could be like what?" And because he, well, he started using words like bandwidth and I'm like, who is
Did
this?
he use
and what?
wheelhouse?
No, no, he didn't use. Is that in your wheelhouse? No, he didn't do that. No, but. So, but other than that, I mean, it was really all word of mouth stuff. It was not only, but I beat the bricks. Like right now, I'm not even going front. I'm going after Stanley.
Yeah.
Like I have Beth and two other people gathering information for me to go after PMI and be like, "Hey, look, let's customize these things. I'm pumping out 15 of these things a week.
Right.
Let's do 150,000 of them a week."
Yeah.
Like you guys are cutting yourself short, blah, blah, blah. But that's, hey, what's the old thing they say? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep.
Right.
That was Jordan, I think.
What is the dog doing?
I don't know. I thought that was my mom. I don't know. Tearing up the house.
That's your mom. That's another problem. She's probably chewing on her bone, like right outside the dog is making noise.
Yeah.
That's what, grumbling and stuff, and I was like,
the scary part about the FFL is that it starts with the laser, and then moves on from there.
Yeah.
For me.
Right.
Because then it'll get into Cerakoting.
It would be your gateway
and then
drug.
It'll get and then we'll get into adding dots.
Yeah.
On all handgun, it just snowballs from there. And
Well, so I'll tell you. Well, let me tell you though, just like in my Lightburn speech, is I'm a firm believer that every man has their trade, and I know this to be a fact because I spent about 14 hours one day trying to unclog a toilet drain at my house, only to have to call the guy and spend $400 for him to break his machine, go get a truck-mounted machine, come back, and do all this work.
Right.
It was a 17-hour-long process that I lost a day's worth of work for, and then still paid $450 for this guy to come do it. Because guess what? I'm not a professional poop pipe unplugger.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So every man has their trade. So to piggyback on what you say, it starts with the laser. It goes to the FFL. Then you're going to be Cerakote. And the next thing you know, that you're doing dog tuxedos with custom, Derringers in them, right? I mean, like I understand it propagates
pretty
into some
fun.
craziness, right? Right. Bond, fluffy Bond.
Oh man,
Gone. Just like that.
and then he's
See,
gone.
the ATF got him. He talked all that stuff. See, they can't get warrants. They can't do this. They
It's
can't
our
do
bedtime alarm too. Where did he go?
that. They ain't got no warrants or nothing. They just cut them off. You see, just they don't need warrants. They just cut your feed. They cut your feed. And here we are left talking to ourselves.
Come back, Jeff. Come back.
We got him back. So
They let him out.
made some calls. I sent some emails.
They're like,
I wrote my governor,
Let us
and
finish the
they
podcast.
connected. They brought back his connection.
See my T-shirt, free Jeff.
I'm gonna add that to the T-shirt list for our
Free Jeff.
merch.
Free my boy.
Free Jeff.
I was at a fast food restaurant one time, and this dude turned around and talking to his buddy, and he was like, "You keep messing around, they gonna put your ass on a T-shirt." I was like,
That's a good. I like that.
that's pretty messed up.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, put the angel wings on the back, how.
It's got to be airbrushed.
Yeah,
Print or the 8.5 by 11.
I want a pin. I want the pin.
right there.
Because the pin you could put on every shirt.
It's true. You could wear
The
it
shirt
everywhere.
you can only wear one. The pin it goes everywhere with you.
Oh man. Okay, so he is giving us a 2 discounts. We usually try to get the
How we
two,
do around
one
here.
for everybody,
General admission.
and then one
VIP.
for the special people.
Yeah.
Our
patrons.
So his website is laserableitems.com, and use code TRBP15 for 15% off.
Yeah, if you're unpaid.
Yeah, if you're not a paid member, if that code doesn't work, just check the show notes just in case for some reason.
I'm a slacker.
And then we won't talk. The other one is bigger, but we won't mention how much or what it is. You'll have to join
have to pay
Patreon
for that one. It pays for
to
itself.
find out. It really does.
Hey, well, that was the idea, right?
Right, exactly. You gotta reel them in somehow.
Yeah.
And then, so how can people find you? Like, where can they follow you and all your stuff?
Well, the restraining order is still in effect for most of you. No, but we have a YouTube channel. It's Fiber Laser Trading. We have our website, which is laserableitems.com, which I have a training portal on. So we do offer
Nice.
Personalized one-on-one industry, specific training if you're trying to do this thing, if you're trying to do this barrage of things, if you just want to know how to grow your business, whatever. We do a lot of stuff there. That's on laserableitems.com.
Okay.
And then we have TikTok, which is also Fiber Laser Training. We have started our journey in the fiber laser world. It has only been in the past maybe year and a half or so that I've gotten to the CO2 world, because my business model changed to where everybody was asking me to do stuff that my fibers wouldn't do, and I don't say no to work, and I got tired of giving it to the guy down the street.
Right.
So we also train as much as we can, as much as we know on CO2s. We're pretty versed in the light burn stuff, though. So, but then of course we have a Facebook group, Fiber Laser and CO2 Training Community.
Okay.
And then me, I'm on the Facebook, Jeff Stockton.
You're on the book.
On the books.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to call it when you're over 40. It's the Facebook and
The
the
Facebook.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, did you ask the Google?
Right.
Well, Jeff, it's been
It
fun.
was a good time. We'll definitely have to have you on again.
We'll have you on again, maybe on a FFL only.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk a little bit more, get into depth about that.
Oh, we could name the show Only Cans.
Only cans.
I like that. OnlyFans don't come for us.
No, I told
We'll do a different font, a different
I
color.
told my wife. I told my wife I wanted to get a minivan and I was going to start a car club called Only Vans.
Nice.
I'd kill me.
We were thinking about, so we just started a Facebook group for our patrons.
Yeah.
And Madison, one of the suggestions, I was asking like for suggestions for like of the
Names.
group names, and Madison actually suggested only like TRBP and then only patrons, kind of like only fans.
but
Yeah. Because I mean, they are fans.
They are.
They just get a different content.
For now.
For now, stop.
Depending on the paywall.
Yeah.
We'll see how these bills go.
No, you're a mess.
That's funny. I keep getting Bill's mail too.
Yeah.
Every time we look at it, my wife's like, Bill's. And I'm like, why do we keep getting Bill's mail?
Right?
Yeah. Look, calm down.
man.
Take a breath. There you go. No, but thank you for having me. I really
course.
appreciate it. I like what you guys are doing. Keep it up.
Thanks.
Thank you. Well, stick around. We'll talk to you for a little bit more, and for everyone else, we'll be right back with our life update coming up next. And we're back.
Uh-huh.
Life update time.
Yeah.
We
What
got.
do you want to talk about?
The only thing I got is that I just came earlier today from shooting a gig.
Mm-hmm.
It was a realtors networking mixer, like
Yeah.
after hours mixer. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. Made a lot of good connections, and then
Awesome.
we'll be hosting.
Yeah,
a
we'll be
luncheon.
hosting one. In about
Not just us. We're sponsoring.
We're giving some dollars to help
Mhm.
pay for.
In chain for
we're just showing up. Yeah.
exposure to realtors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, hopefully, and then the more of those that you make, the more hopefully that people will be.
Yeah, a lot of
In
people
your
after
inbox.
after I talked to them, a lot of realtors were receptive
Mm-hmm.
and were there were a lot of head nods in the audience and stuff
Yeah.
like that when I was talking. So
Mm-hmm.
and then right after, I need to get your card. Then a few more when they started seeing me pack up, they were like, oh, let me go, because it's like
Right.
oh, he's leaving.
Yeah,
so they
because
came over and
they
like,
probably
let me get
thought,
your...
oh, I had time, but
Mhm.
yeah,
Right. So yeah, a lot of interest.
that's good.
That's all I got. Just trying to work
Cool.
and make it out there.
Yeah, we've you can probably hear it, or you probably already heard it in my voice. Been fighting a cold for a couple weeks, and then there was a lovely stomach bug going around the house, and I thought I escaped it, and I didn't get it too terribly. I mean,
Right.
JR didn't have it super bad.
No.
So I got it about how he did, but like a little bit worse maybe.
Mhm.
And yeah, so just recovering from that, and what else? I'm trying to think. I feel like there's a
There's
couple
a bunch
other
of
things,
stuff.
but yeah,
There's
just
a sign expo coming up.
yeah.
You're going to Colorado.
Yep, going to Colorado in about 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
It's March 6th.
Coming up.
It's
Damn,
the
March
20th.
6th. March.
Yeah, and February is short. Like it's
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot going on. There's been a whole I mean, you guys may understand if small business and marketplace insurance.
Yeah.
Make sure you find a good broker.
Yeah, vet
because
your
we're
broker.
in a situation now where I don't know. I don't know what happened, but we probably are gonna need all new insurance, and I don't know what that's gonna look like.
Yeah.
So that was just just another thing that I
Cherry on the top.
didn't want to deal with, or that takes away from stuff that I actually would like to be working on. But yeah, just same old, pushing on. Nothing
Yeah.
really out of the ordinary.
Well, that'll do it for us, I guess. That's
Yeah,
all we got.
yeah.
If you guys are going to the Sign
Wait.
Expo,
Yes, Sign Expo, which we already mentioned,
Yep.
April. We are like less, probably by now, by the time
Oh,
this
right.
airs, we are less than 900 downloads away from
the big
50,000
50K.
downloads. Like, That's
big.
bonkers
Yeah.
to me. Like,
That's
I
wild.
just,
Thank you guys.
yeah.
Couldn't do it without you.
Seriously,
Literally
we
couldn't
really,
do
really
it.
couldn't. And we
Yeah.
made a Facebook group for our patrons.
That's right.
So if you're a patron and you love us and you actually listen to these life
Yes.
updates at the end of the episode, go join the Facebook group if you
Mhm.
haven't already. It's called TRBP Patrons Hangout. And that's where I'll make sure to post, like, you know, the exclusive discount codes, anything important that I want you guys to know about that's, like, you know, for our patrons only.
Right.
We'll hopefully be doing the lives there as well. Yeah, phone died.
Yep.
You're right.
Oh,
The lives and that kind of stuff. So yeah, go join that if you haven't already.
and if you cancel your subscription, you'll get booted.
I know. I don't want to.
Letting you
It's
know.
gonna.
I'll do it. I'm gonna do it.
I might make him do the
'Cause
dirty
it's
work.
It's part of the thing.
It is.
Part of the thing.
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
We tried to sneak in stuff. So.
Yeah. So, well, listen, Jeff, if you're still there, stay there.
Stay.
I'm gonna wrap this up, but this doesn't mean for you. I'm gonna let you back in.
Yeah. So don't go anywhere.
Right. Right. And if you made it this far in the podcast, you know something happened, and now he's coming back. So we're gonna record that second half now.
Right.
But for
everyone else.
timeline's sake, it's been another great episode of the Friday Black Project with Crystal and John.
Bye.
Maybe we're all done.